Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George. So, what is going on today? Well, I'm here to say there's some big news from both Elon and Michael Saylor. These men are making big news and making big moves. And that is why the Bitcoin bull run is just getting started. So let's talk about what these guys are doing and everything else that's going on. There are some important things that's happening, so you don't want to miss it. You definitely want to watch till the very, very, very end of this stream. All right, let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Let's look at a blank screen here. Let me fix this. There we go. Welcome, guys. We're starting out tonight at 96, which is a little bit lower than this morning, but actually it's a lot better than this morning. After my stream, Bitcoin actually fell down to like 95.2 for no apparent reason. The U.S. market was closed today. Bitcoin just showed a lot of weakness. In fact, this morning we pumped it to like 97 and then all the way down to 95.2 for no apparent reason. Then we went up to 96.4 and now we're hovering around 96.1. So it's about the same as this morning. Again, don't know why, but I did warn you guys this morning that we do have a few economic events that's happening on Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe this is just a precursor of ones to come. Tomorrow, the U.S. market does open. So we'll see. We'll see how the market reacts tomorrow to Wednesday. There is a Fed minutes that's being reported and several other key important housing data that's being released and a few other things that I'll cover tomorrow morning. But we do have this. Fed Governor Bowman says more progress on inflation is needed before further rate cuts. Are we going to get more rate cuts with inflation going upwards? Can Fed Chair Powell actually do any more rate cuts? That's the big question mark. Because if inflation keeps going up, he not only cannot cut rates, he has to increase the rates, which is bad. That's not what we want. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. It really depends on how bad it gets with the economy. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. Now let's move to Elon. What's going on with Elon and DOGE? So DOGE is doing a couple things. First of all, he gets U.S. taxpayer information. And, you know, like there are certain things, okay, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This morning I covered how he was going to, some senator asked him to go audit Fort Knox, okay, to make sure that those gold bars are still there. Apparently, no one has audited Fort Knox for 50 years. And recently, he audited IRS because, why shouldn't he? Because there's no one that's been auditing it. And, you know, he's auditing all these things that you would figure there's someone or some agency that has been auditing, but it doesn't seem like anyone is. Here's a really good example. This was tweeted out earlier today. Social Security in the U.S. This is, this is an age count of all the Americans in the U.S. and who's collecting Social Security. Now, I don't know how many of you guys know of any relatives, grandparents, great-grandparents that are older than 100, 110, 120, 130, because according to our records, there are 3.5 million people that's between the ages of 120 and 129, 4 million people between the ages of 130 to 139, 3.5 million people between the ages of 140 and 149, and 1.3 million people between the ages of 150 to 159. Then it finally cuts off. That's like what? Over 10 million people. That's between 120 and 160. That's staggering. And did you know we have 1,000 people that's between the ages of 220 and 229? And we have one person that is between 240 and 249 years old. And we have one person that is between 360 years and 369 years. In fact, he's older than America. He's older than the country itself, and he's collecting Social Security. And that's somehow in the records. That's in the system. You know, it's like, so who's auditing this? Like, isn't there like some agency that's going through the numbers and thinking, okay, maybe there's no one on the planet that's above 200. Okay, maybe you could make an argument, maybe between 110 and 120. Okay, but maybe we should think about auditing anything above 130 or 140, you know, especially the ones above 200. Maybe there's something wrong there. I don't know. You know, just common sense stuff. No one's been looking at this. Why not? I don't know. Who audits, you know, the top regulation agencies? I don't know. You know, like, it just boggles my mind how this, you know, happens. Anyways, that doesn't relate to crypto, but this does. He is also going to audit the SEC. And he's actually asking people to actually submit. So if you've been, you know, harassed by the SEC, or you have, you know, examples of abuse or fraud or anything, they're actually, you know, asking for people to submit it, right? I'm sure Ripple can submit a lot of stuff. I'm sure Coinbase could submit a lot of stuff. So this is actually targeting the SEC now. Even though the SEC is supposed to, I mean, it's under a new regime now. Gary Gensler is gone, whatever, right? No one likes the SEC, but still. Now it's time to look at the SEC and what's going on behind the scenes, right? So this, of course, does relate to crypto. It's not, I mean, SEC is just not looking at crypto only. But obviously, over the last few years, they've been targeting crypto quite a lot. I mean, Gary Gensler was saying everything was a security. Staking is a security. Stablecoins security. Anything on exchanges security. I mean, anything under the roof, under the sun is a security, right? But that's all changing. But I'm glad to see this is happening. And if anyone has anything to share, they can share it. That's great. But the Social Security thing is just so ridiculous. I don't know why no one has audited those numbers before. It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. All right. Now, moving on to Saylor. We know he's the ultra giga chad of Bitcoin. But he came out today. It's like the commandments of Bitcoin, or being a Bitcoiner. Okay, 21 rules of Bitcoin. Those who understand by Bitcoin, yes. Those who don't criticize Bitcoin. Everyone is against Bitcoin before they are for it. I don't know if that's true. There are some people that are not for it or against it, kind of neutral. Well, okay, you will never be done learning about Bitcoin. I don't know if that's true either. I feel like I know everything about Bitcoin. I feel Saylor does too, but he's just being nice. Bitcoin is powered by chaos. I don't know about that. Bitcoin is the only game in the casino that we could all win. I will agree with that. Bitcoin is the only thing in the universe that you could truly own. No, you can own your thoughts. I mean, you own your soul, if there is such a thing. Okay. Everyone gets Bitcoin at the price they deserve. That I'll agree with. Only buy Bitcoin with the money you can't afford to lose. Agree. Tickets to escape the matrix are priced in Bitcoin. Agree. Bitcoin insight is restricted to those with the need to know. Bitcoin insight is restricted to those with a need to know. Okay, agree. All your models will be destroyed. Agreed. Agreed. That means, every cycle there are different things that happen. So history doesn't always repeat. The cure to economic ill is the orange pill. Okay, agree. Be for Bitcoin, not against fiat. I don't know about that. He used to be very against fiat. So this is saying be for Bitcoin, but don't be against fiat. I don't know. I think we should all be against fiat. That's a little weird. Number 14. Bitcoin's for everyone. Yes. Learn to think in Bitcoin. Yes, although that's very hard. 17. You don't change Bitcoin, it changes you. Yes. 18. Laser eyes protect you from endless lies. I don't know about that. 19. Respect Bitcoin or will make a clown out of you, like Peter Schiff and Jamie Dimon. 20. You do not sell your Bitcoin. Well, reality is some people will take profits sometime. And 21. Spread Bitcoin love. Okay, I agree with most of those things. And it's true. It's true. It's good. Good commandments. He should label it the 21 commandments of Bitcoin. That would sound a whole lot better. Just to share with you guys, the ultra giga chad of Bitcoin. But the most important thing is those who understand will continue to hodl and DCA Bitcoin. Basically, number one. Those who don't will waver, will question, will fall for FUD, will criticize, right? But those that truly understand won't have any of these things, won't have any doubts. They will continue to stay the course. And that's what I try to help you guys with. Help you guys stay the course and help you guys learn and see the bigger picture. That's really what it comes down to. All right. Moving forward. Clark says, I want to see the 21 rules of XRP. Someone should make it. Bitcoin bull run, just getting started, says Bernstein. Institutions load up. Yes, there are a lot. Every day, I show you guys more headlines about institutions or states or companies or countries that are loading up. Okay, one after another, after another, after another. States keep on increasing. In fact, in total, 12 states have invested $330 million already, and there are a lot more that are trying to get billions approved. Okay, and there are a lot more states that are trying to get legislation approved as well. So, as you can see, this is rolling right now. Okay, this is rolling, but this is just a small piece of the pie. Small piece of the pie. There are much bigger players at hand, way bigger, including the banks. There are several banks that hold hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin and ETFs. And guess what? JP Morgan is starting to do the same thing. Jamie Dimon, still one of the only CEOs out there that still hates Bitcoin, still comes out and shames anyone that holds Bitcoin. But JP Morgan itself is increasing its holdings and offers many, many, many Bitcoin and crypto services. So he says one thing, but does another. And he's been doing that since the beginning of time, basically, right? But all the other CEOs have turned very bullish, except him. But it doesn't matter what he says. You just got to look at what he's doing, especially what his company is doing, JP Morgan, and he continues to increase his holdings. That tells you something. That tells you something major, right? So, in addition, we see a lot of miners that are shifting. Okay, of course, they're powering the network, but a lot of them are shifting to the US. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. A lot of them have moved to Texas, right? But as we get more pro-crypto regulations in the United States, there will be more tax breaks. There will be more, I don't know, there will be more cheap electricity, and there'll be more laws against self-custody, and so many other things that's going to make it very, very, very favorable for crypto companies and mining companies to operate in the US. And that is exactly what we want. For far too long, the SEC and others have been driving people out. Now we're seeing them all come back. And that is awesome. Really, really awesome. Again, another reason why the bull run is just getting started. Now, Khalil, he posted this. He believes that there's one more shakeout before the huge run up. I don't know if I agree with this, but some people are thinking that Bitcoin may dip down to the 80s before we jump back up. I don't know the reason for it. He tweeted this out, you know, showing that we may break down like one nasty wick, one nasty shakeout down into the 80s, low 80s, maybe even the 70s, and then boom, we have a big recovery. Even if it happened. Again, going back to the 21 rules of Bitcoin, if you truly understand, nothing happens. In fact, if it happens, you would be more bullish. You would be buying even more, accumulating more, right? But those that don't understand and those that like to cause FUD and spread their misery, they will say, well, it's the end for Bitcoin, right? The bull run's over, we're going down, blah, blah, blah. But if you truly understand, you'll know that that's exactly not the case. Although I don't know. I just don't see this scenario happening. He may have a reason for it. I don't know. I haven't heard of any good reasons why there would be another crazy shakeout like this. There are just too many people that are holding. But we'll see. We'll see. Raul Paul also thinks right now is one of the greatest macro trades of all time for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, and Sui. He had a Sui. Sui was not one of his not one of his favorites before. Okay. He also says, hey, right now, you got some choppiness, you got some distractions, but we know the bull run's not over. We are going to go a lot higher. This is an awesome time to be loading up before the next leg up. So it's not just me. People that know, right? And right now, we know that meme coins are getting a little bit weaker. And of course, there's one from the Argentinian president. I'll give you guys an update on that. But a lot of you guys complained about like, hey, meme coins, you know, shit coins have been taking away from Bitcoin and stuff like that. I've always argued no, it really doesn't. But right now, since the market's a little bit weaker for alts, you do see memes, right? Not as much volume, not as much retail traders degenning into all these memes. And you do see a lot of them concentrating more on Bitcoin, and that's a good thing. And you see a lot of them come and look at some of the big L1s, right? So there is that effect. And I've been saying you never want to ignore Bitcoin. Even though Bitcoin is so big, you never want to ignore Bitcoin. And here, look at this. Solana DEX volume drops to 2.61 billion, lowest since mid-December. That's still a staggering amount, but still lowest since mid-December because of the drop in memes, right? But it's going to come back, and ETFs are around the corner, not just for Solana. We got XRP, Cardano, and possibly Hedera, possibly Doge, possibly Litecoin, right? These could be huge catalysts or catapults for all these alts that's coming up later this year. So keep your eyes out for them. Another one, Avalanche. I don't know. There's no ETF application, although Grayscale has an Avalanche Trust, so they could easily come out with a ETF as well. But I saw this. Avalanche is now approved in Hong Kong. So it's only one of only 4 cryptos approved for trading in Hong Kong. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, and Avalanche. Not even Solana is approved for trading in Hong Kong. I didn't even know that. That's a pretty big deal. And eventually, all of China will be allowed to trade. But right now, only Hong Kong is. And I don't know how many exchanges are actually operating. But eventually, it's going to be a big deal. And we're going to have 1 billion people trading. And I saw this. Saudi Arabia's first blockchain, AMLA chain, that's within Avalanche. It's a side chain, has launched. So good for them. Good for them. All right. Lastly, just to give you guys an update, I covered this morning. Libra. A lot of heat around this meme coin from Argentina's president, Javier Milei. Okay. It pumped up to the moon. Then it dumped. A lot of insider rugging, like $100 million was withdrawn from insider wallets. Then he retweeted, caused it to go up. And then, a lot of allegations, impeachment talk, a lot of lawyers saying they're going to sue him. And then he comes out and says, well, I didn't promote it. I only shared it, even though it was obviously from his own Twitter. It was obvious he retweeted it. He gave instructions on how people can go buy it, how there's only 2 hours. But he's like, I didn't promote it. I just shared it. So he's trying to distance himself away from it, even though just this morning he retweeted the instructions. So I don't know what's going on there. This is from a president. This is from a sitting president, not an ex-president. I don't know what's going on there. All right, guys. All right. Let's do some Q&A. Let's see. Let me scroll up here. Looks like a couple people were fighting each other. I don't know what about, but Josh was handling it. With all the FUD around Sol today, would you consider selling, buying ETH? No. No. There's just too many there's too much competition for ETH. ETH will never go back to its heyday like in 2021 when there was no competition. Now there's 1,000 chains that's competing against it. Sol got really weak because of this whole Argentinian thing. And then there is an unlock that's happening in March, but it's a small amount, $2 billion worth. Considering there's a $100 billion market cap, it shouldn't disrupt too much, but you know, there is that. I think memes overall just got really quiet, really quiet. But this Argentinian thing is a really bad look. Really bad look. The Cameron Wall says, the most pro-crypto administration in history, and the market has tanked 20% since inauguration. Are you sure? I'm not so sure that's true, the Cameron Wall. Since, well, I guess I'm thinking since when he was elected. When was elections? November, right? This is what happened after elections. Inauguration was in January, but this was when Trump got elected. So, I don't know. I don't know why you're counting since inauguration. Why don't you count when he was actually elected in November? Sol has tanked 20%. Has it? In November, it's the same level pre-election. In November, before the pump, I mean, down here, it's the 140s. After the pump, after the election, yes, it went up to 260 and then afterwards. But pre-election, it was at this current level and lower. So you can't even use that argument. XRP in November was sub $1. ADA in November was 30-something cents. Chainlink was $10. AVAX November is right around here. Although AVAX did go up more earlier in March, but you know, right around November, it's around the same price now, so it's no lower than November prices. Juice Master. Hey, George, is Beam still relevant? I feel like it used to be talked about often. The reason why it's not relevant now, or it's not talked about, is because games is not popular right now. There's no gaming project or gaming chains that's popular, that's doing well right now. That's the reason why. Beam is still a good project. There's nothing wrong with it. but there's no game that's launched on Beam that's hot. Beam itself, you know, the only way it's going to be hot is if the games on top of it is hot, and right now nothing on there is hot. You know, that's the reality. Yeah, right now all these tariffs, right? All these tariffs have people a little scared. Like, you just don't know the effects of these tariffs, whether these other countries are going to retaliate with their own tariffs, you know, stuff like that. You know, that's why the markets are kind of wonky. Can't predict some of these things. These are short term. It's not like we haven't been in this kind of scenario, guys. Okay, so you can make the argument, since we pumped up, let's just say going back to November to now, sideways movement since November 21st, so 3 months. It's not like we haven't seen sideways movement for long extended periods. We have. But we're sitting in the 90s. We're not sitting in the 50s and 60s. We're sitting in the 90s. So we're 50% higher. So, I mean, if we were sitting in the 60s right now, then I could say yes. You know, people have a right to be wary and tired, but we're 50% higher than those times. Now, some of the alts, yeah, I get it. Some of the alts have shown a lot of weakness, but that's why I say you got to have a good amount of Bitcoin in your portfolio. Bitcoin is the way. It's going to give you that stability. It's the one that I truly know will be around in 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, 50 years. Alts just do not compete with Bitcoin. They're just separate. Michael, George, will we see a 2021 type altcoin bull market? More and more, I think no. And I've shared this before many, many times. Previous cycles, we had money flow out from Bitcoin into the alts. This time around, I don't know if that's going to happen because we're not led by retail. We're led by the institutions. I just don't see institutions pulling out their Bitcoin profits and putting it into alts. So I don't think the altcoin season this time around is going to behave the same way as before. But maybe money comes in from somewhere else that supplements that money from elsewhere. I think it'll be from memes. Who knows? Tom Reyes, bull run tops in euphoria, not fear. 100% correct. Do you think meme coins have ruined altcoin season? No. Without meme coins, I think the alts would be completely dead. Beham, appreciate it. If it wasn't for memes, so many chains would be completely dead with no activity. The fact of the matter is, Bitcoin is not led by retail this cycle. We didn't have ETFs in previous cycle. We didn't have Saylor buying nearly as much in the previous cycles. We didn't have BlackRock buying in previous cycles. We didn't have states and pension funds and hedge funds and companies from around the world buying Bitcoin in previous cycles. It's just different. Institutions are leading the charge this time, not retail. That's why this cycle is different. Will FTX money flow in? You know what? I think the rumor is either the 18th or 19th is when, or maybe even today, that the FTX distribution is supposed to start. So a whole bunch of people are going to get stables, and what are they going to do with the stables, right? If they sell stables into cash, it's not going to disrupt the market. But most people, I would say, when they get their stables, they're going to be buying crypto with it. Do you reckon ADA has potential to reach back its previous high? I think so. ADA is one of those that actually do have a lot of movement based in US. Charles is making some big moves. So yeah, I think they have the potential. Am I still holding MSTU? Yes. I sold off half, but I still have half. I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe selling it and just going all in on Robinhood. My Robinhood options have been absolutely killing it. It's the only one thing that actually has been doing good. And MicroStrategy, I don't know. Now with Strike is taking a lot of momentum away from strategy stock. I have to think about it. Please talk about the Ondo dip. What is there to talk about? A lot of alts dipped. Bruce Davis is saying, this is crypto winter, the cycles are over. If this is crypto winter, you should be very happy. Very, very happy. If you think this is crypto winter, man, this will be the best winter ever. I don't think you've lived through a crypto winter. Just go back and look at prices in 2022, 2023. And look at those prices versus now. And then tell me. That was crypto winter. So if this was crypto winter right now, man, you should sing hallelujah and go all in. If this is like, this is crypto winter, this would be the best crypto winter ever if this was the case. Do you think XRP will take the number 2 spot? I think so. I think at this point they will. There's really nothing that's going to stop them. I don't think Ethereum is going to stop them. I think they will go number 2. I think eventually by the end of this cycle, it's going to be Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, 1, 2, 3, and Ethereum at number 4. That's how I see the order. The Feezy says, most of these folks in chat wouldn't be here in Crypto Winter. That's 100% correct. Crypto Winter is rough, man. This is not rough. Crypto Winter, when Bitcoin fell down to 15,000, when Sol fell down to $8, when XRP was hovering at, what, 30 cents? When ADA was at 8 cents? That's rough. That's crypto winter. All right, guys. Enough crypto winter talk. We're not in crypto winter. Tomorrow we got another big day. We'll see. Let's see what the pre-market is. Pre-market or right now it's looking green. We may get a little volatility because of Wednesday and Thursday, but we'll see. But stay strong, my friends. If you truly understand, like Saylor says, if you truly understand, you will not be distracted from buying more Bitcoin. All right? Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Big super chat. Thank you. Another George. Thank you. All right. Have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.